What a good night for us, because I think we learned a lot from the night. We had some adversity early where I thought Bryant came out and did a great job pushing the pace and made some shots early, and we got behind. And I've been telling these guys all along that, obviously in order to be a great pressing team, you got to have some come from behind victories. Obviously, we did a great job at the end of the half, closing the half, and I thought our press was really good. We forced those guys, which were really 4 guards, into 27 turnovers. We had 14 steals ourselves. We played very unselfish basketball when you look at it. 15 assists on 36 made field goals. The way we play for our guys just to have 7 turnovers, I thought was really good for our program and moving in the right direction. So, very positive game for us. We could take a lot from it. I'm excited about this team. I felt like we took a big step forward, especially on the defensive end. When you look at it, I told the guys in the locker room, they took 52 shots, and we were able to get 79 shots up because of our press and the way with our deflections and the steals that we had. Very, very excited to have Braxton Beverly. I kind of put him in a tough spot, so you guys will understand. I'll give you how this thing worked. I got a phone call from our compliance department that said that Braxton would be eligible. It was around 5, I would say a little close to 5, I don't know exact time. I called Braxton, he thought it was an April Fool's joke. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, go get your uniform, put your uniform on. Now, I've been telling KB, our equipment manager, to bring his uniform for every game, because I'm a smart coach, because I knew that the NCAA would do the right thing. And very grateful for those guys that obviously they came to this decision and giving him the opportunity, and excited about him. So that being said, he and I walked in here, and one thing I told him, I said, if I got cleared about 5:15 or 5:30 and I played the game at 7 o'clock, I probably would have 30 points, which makes me a little bit better player than Braxton right now. A little nervous, and rightfully so. I put him in a tough spot, meaning that, I could have waited and probably played him on Thursday, but I was so excited, man. I wanted to see him out there, and glad to have him out there. I thought he did a good job. I thought, obviously the other guys have been able to get some first game jitters out of the way when you talk about a scrimmage and an exhibition in a couple games, and this was his first college game. So excited about him. I'm going to turn it over because I know you guys may have some questions for him, and he can tell you how he went 1 for 7 on his first college game in NC State.
Hey, raise your hands. We've got some mics and questions for Braxton now.
Braxton, what was your first feeling when he told you? I guess you didn't believe it, right? So then after that, once it settled in,
like he said, when he called, I didn't believe it at first. I was like, don't start playing with me. Don't get me excited for no reason. But,
and that's his first problem. You should always believe your coach.
It just. It was really great, to finally get out there, play my first game. Like you said, 1 for 7. Got the first game jitters, first college game. But it's overall, I'm really happy I'm finally out there.
Braxton, the NCAA. Sorry, go ahead. You're good. The NCAA statement said that the decision was made because of some additional information. Do you know what that is, or have you even had a chance to research any of this? You were just told and got out there and played.
No, I'm going to answer that for him. He has no idea what the new information was. I think, his lawyer handled most of that stuff. A lot of the stuff was behind the scenes, and even myself, I don't know. We're just grateful that it happened.
Braxton, when you walk out there on the court for the first time and you hear the fans, obviously they know what's going on, they know the situation. What was that moment like when you get to actually walk out there in a collegiate jersey for the first time?
I was very excited. The first 2 games here, I've seen signs and posters, everybody on free Braxton, and finally I'm free. Obviously the poster said they finally let him go. It was a great feeling, playing for, such a great fan base, great, finally playing in college, my first game, to have that support, it's amazing.
And even though you didn't know the eligibility before this, what has the support from NC State fans and this entire community been like? Not knowing what the situation was going to be for the longest time.
It's been unbelievable. Everything going on social media. Everything I read was nothing but great stuff. How they're going to have my back. How they're always going to, no matter the outcome, they're always going to pull for me, root for me. So, it's really great to have that.
Braxton, talk us through your mental outlook on this as it went through it? When you first got denied the 2 times, it looked like it was done, and then the lawyer gets involved and everything. Did you maintain hope the whole time? Just talk us through that.
Yeah, of course. I had to maintain hope if I was going to, if I was going to keep pushing for it. The biggest thing I tried to do, of course, the first 2 times I didn't get the decision I wanted, but I was just trying to take the positives out of the negative situations, and use each day to continue getting better and maturing and get ready for this moment.
Braxton, Ohio State's athletic director, tweeted his support of the decision. Do you feel like that university has helped you as well along this process to get you eligible?
I think they've shown support that that I should be eligible and be able to play.
How did your teammates react to the news, and what did they have to say?
They were as shocked as I was. When I came in and told them, they kind of like looked around at each other. It's like, we playing like an hour. They just now told you, and I was like, yeah, that's the news I got. So they all was going crazy in the locker room for me. So it was great.
He had no idea actually about the scouting report either, guys. He was on the scout team. He's been on the scout team running he was Bryant's best player for the last couple of days, and it's amazing. I'm excited for him. Obviously, this young man's worked extremely hard. With my background being in Hargrave Military Academy, knowing that a kid went there as a senior, and then obviously he went there as a post-grad, so he spent 2 years there, feeling that was his sit-out year, kind of doing a post-grad year at Hargrave, and I'm excited for him. What a great kid. He deserved it, I think, and like I said, I really appreciate the NCAA taking another look at it and giving him this opportunity.
Anything else for Braxton? All right, thanks, Braxton.
Thank you.
See you, Braxton. 1 for 7. I can always mess with him on that, just so you know.
Kevin, when Bryant got off that hot start, you called a quick timeout. What was the main message you wanted to get across there?
Just stick together. This is, it's funny in basketball, for whatever reason, you're never going to lead the game from beginning to end. And what I told those guys, stick together. They made a run. Certainly we'll have our run. I thought Bryant came out with a lot of energy. They played well. They made shots early. And I just told our guys, just stay the course. A lot of times when someone gets a lead on you, you can take bad shots and the lead will increase. But I thought our guys stayed focused, and obviously once we started playing, we were able to get into our presses, and I think our press was the difference.
Leonard, during his first 3 seasons playing, is more of a rebounding defense kind of guy. He's had 17 against VMI. I think he had 20 tonight. Did you see that coming from him? I mean, is that a surprise that he's able to score like that?
Well, he's big and strong and physical around the basket, and we have, from the time that I've taken the job, I've really concentrated on him scoring with his back to the basket. There are not a lot of guys that has the size that he has, and he's becoming a really good post player for us. He'll have an important role for us. I'm happy for him. I think he had a career night, obviously with 20 points, but he's a guy that we feel comfortable throwing the ball inside to.
For Torin, obviously we've seen him kind of take on a pretty big role in this offense as well. Is he kind of the prototypical player of what you want for your system to really be that inside-out kind of guy, and what he's been able to bring to the system so far?
Yeah, I feel like when, and I think TD said this also when I first took the job, he was a guy that could be really special in the system because he's got the ability to score inside and out. I thought he did a really good job of kind of mixing his game up. He was very aggressive getting to the paint, finished around the rim, and I thought he had a really good game. Game. I thought he did. He was effective in every way. Got some deflection. Did a great job on the defensive end.
Now that Braxton is eligible and playing, how do you see him fitting into the backcourt rotation? What can he help you?
Well, I got 2 young guys that I think are going to be really good basketball players in the NC State uniform. We talk about LeVar, you talk about Braxton, and I'm able to now not have to play, Al and Sam and Markel so many minutes where I can bring those guys along slowly. They give us depth, and Braxton will be fine. You'll see a different Braxton Beverly as he gets a couple games under his belt where he can make shots and run the team also.
Anything else for Coach?
Question, how do the players enjoy playing it every other day?
I don't know. You have to ask them that.
All right. How's the coach enjoy playing every other
I
day?
kind of like it. It's weird because, God, when I walked into the arena today, I was like, man, I was just here yesterday. It seems that way. I like it. You know, I think it's this playing every other day will help us in the future when it comes to some type of tournaments and, you know, down the road and everything else, because we'll be battle tested because we've been able to play every other day, I think.
How is Malik progressing?
Malik's coming along. You know, we're still running. We're taking shots with him now. He's starting to move a little bit effective. I don't have a time frame for when he's going to play, but he is getting better.